Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today at Sarveda's lecture series event. Today we're going to be talking to Aparna and we're going to be exploring on using sound as a therapeutic tool for our mental and emotional well-being. Thank you, Aparna, for joining us. Just a little bit about Sarveda. So at Sarveda, we believe in living a conscious, compassionate, and healthy lifestyle inspired by the ancient wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda. Our endeavor really is to light up the lives of those who we influence with the sacred science of well-being. So we strive to create valuable resources and promote products that embody this lifestyle of being authentic, sustainable, earth-friendly, and organic. So I'm just going to share a little bit about our guest today, Aparna. So Aparna is an internationally certified sound therapist with over 7 years of professional experience in healing arts. Having been trained in music since childhood and a lifelong experience with sound and its effect on the psyche, she was naturally drawn to sound as a healing modality. She has conducted many sessions in studios and corporates across Mumbai, as well as globally online. Her signature hammock sound bath has been featured in Sabyasachi's Band Baja Bride Season 9. That's exciting. She has created soundscapes for a menstrual pain relief project with Noble Hygiene, as well as a collaboration with Rajshri Productions for the YouTube channel Mind, Body, Soul. She has also had the honor of conducting a sound bath for thousands of seekers, as well as being a sound healing trainer at the Srimad Rajchandra Mission in Dharampur. Aparna specializes in a unique blend of Western harmonies and Indian ragas through the use of quartz crystal bowls and elements of Drupad singing. So thank you so much, Aparna, for joining us. And I request everyone to please stay tuned till the end of the session because we are going to experience a sound bath that's going to be given to us by Aparna. It's an honor having you, Aparna.
Thank you, Priya. Hi, everyone. Namaste. Hope you're all doing well.
Okay. So, Aparna, before we begin, I'd just like to, if you could share a little bit about your own sound healing journey or your journey into sound therapy.
So, I think I would say that I have been into sound ever since I can remember,
Mhm,
unofficially, because I remember being a child and being drawn to any kind of sound, like the sound of the auto rickshaw, the sound of, when we travel by train and
mhm,
the train travels on bridges and how the difference of sound happens when it's on the bridge, and then the moment it lands, the moment it enters land, the sound changes. So all those things, little things, I've been noticing ever since I was a child, and I have been observing how it affects me. And when I was around 12 years old, I was handed down a synthesizer by my cousin. And I used to just tinker around on the synth, tweaking with the resonance, frequency, and all of those things. So that's been my first training into sound.
mhm,
And then I also picked up the violin when I was around 12. I was trained in Western classical music as well as Carnatic style of Indian classical. And I was actually a very shy and introverted kid. So instead of going out to play, I would just spend hours and hours just being with music or just playing with sounds. And and growing up, I just started observing more and more how those sounds and how the music affected me and helped me to express myself. Like I would sing in the bathroom. Of course, I loved to sing, so I would listen to all those pop songs like Madonna and everything, all kinds of genres. I would just grow up singing. Although I was very shy to sing, like publicly perform. So, which is why the violin was kind of a safe instrument. I didn't have to really express with my voice. But I was wrong. I understood how important, no matter what instrument, no matter what you do in life, confidence, self esteem is very important, you know. Whether you're a performing artist, whether you are a teacher, whether you're a doctor, it doesn't matter what you do in life. Confidence is the key. And so, you know, as I grew up, I became a Reiki practitioner, and then I would heal others. You know, I would
Mhm.
practice on family, friends, and later on as a business also. And I realized that slowly, even, you know, I was changing as a person. I was becoming more confident, and then I started collecting instruments, the sound bowls, and all other instruments, and I started working on myself, like really working on myself. And as I slowly started building confidence with the help of sounds, you know, I
Mhm.
realized that I could actually start expressing myself more. You know, my voice opened up, I started singing, you know, all those practices that I learned in sound healing with vocal toning, which I will be taking you all through today. So some of those practices have really helped me, and then I realized how important it is for me to be able to share this with the world. You know, I'm sure there are many people like me, many girls like me, many teenagers like me who grow up, you know, with low confidence, low self-esteem, and this is really my offering to the world to help them, of course, and you know, to teach whatever I know with sound and help them in any way I can.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing this, Aparna. So, of late, sound therapy is just becoming more and more popular. Could you tell us a little bit about why do you think this is happening?
I think, you know, sound is universally loved by everyone, sound and music. And it's a very easy, simple, accessible modality to get into. Like anybody can attend a sound bath without any experience. You know, all you have to do is just lie down and experience the sound as the facilitator, the practitioner plays them or takes them through. And so I think because of the ease and the accessibility of this modality, I think that's the reason why it's becoming so popular. And of course, it's very cool. It sounds, you know, very cool with all these instruments. You know, people see all these crystal balls and gongs and everything. Of course, I think that also adds to the trendiness, the popularity of it. But I think more than that, I feel that it's also becoming popular because people are realizing that it actually helps, you know. So people are realizing how effective a tool it can be, and I think that's why it's becoming popular, and I'm sure there's no end to this. You know, I think this is, I hope this is not just a trend that will die soon, and I hope it continues and that more and more practitioners start practicing and teaching, and more people get into it.
Yeah, that's true. Because, even traditionally in our own culture, music and sound has been used in mantra chanting and for healing. We've
Correct.
had Tibetan bowls, we've
Mm-hmm.
had the singing bowls, etc., that have been used. We've had simple instruments like bells, etc., that
Mm-hmm.
have been used as
Yeah.
puja. That's also like a
Mm-hmm.
form of like, healing yourself and calming and
Yeah.
relaxing your mind through
Correct.
sound. That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And yeah, and another thing is I can think of, sound healing is probably one of those modalities that is non-invasive. There are no drugs involved and it's
Mm-hmm.
more holistic. You're not just
Correct.
targeting like one particular symptom, but you're looking to kind of heal your entire body. The Obviously everything is vibration, as they say, right? And sound is
Mm-hmm.
sacred. So then you're
True.
actually looking to heal everything from the root. And once you kind of feel relaxed through sound, automatically your stress is relieved.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And obviously, over you've been taking sound healing sessions for 7 years, and you've used this in your own journey as well. So I'd love for you to share a couple of examples with us on what happens during these sessions. Like over the years, in your experience, do your clients usually like express themselves? Do you have a few examples that you can share with us, or even like your personal journey? How has it transformed your life?
Yeah, so you know, so many people, so many of my clients have have complained that they're not able to sleep. A lot of my clients complain of insomnia, and of course, stress and anxiety is such a common thing these days. And the first thing that I've noticed is, a lot of people have come to me and told me that they sleep very well, after a session. So I think that's the most important thing. Like, I just couldn't stress that enough. Half of the problems that you're facing, whether it's physical or psychological, emotional, mental, whatever, half of them can be cured by just getting a good night's sleep. And that's what attending a sound bath or a personal healing session can do for you. It can relieve your stress. And over the years, what happens is, when someone comes to me for regular sessions, maybe once a week or a couple times a week, they start noticing small shifts within them, like small shifts in their consciousness, the way they handle their day-to-day stresses, the way they handle things, in general. So, for example, someone who used to get angry about very petty, very small things would suddenly stop getting angry about those things. Like small, small things about life that usually bother us will stop bothering you. So those shifts happen very gradually where you may not even be aware.
Right.
So, people can become more calm. Their outlook towards life can change. They can develop a more positive attitude, and even your eating habits can change. So suddenly people start eating more healthy. Their cravings stop, the sugar cravings stop. So automatically these things happen. It's just like a puzzle that all comes together. So I've noticed this in so many people. They'll suddenly start exercising more, they'll start eating healthy, they'll start sleeping better, and so eventually their overall health also improves.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then, so say, do you always need a sound therapist to kind of, feel this experience, or can one learn this technique and practice it on themselves as well?
Oh, absolutely. You don't always need to attend a sound bath. You can totally learn this for yourself. As I did, I mean, I started by learning how to play these instruments myself, and I would just practice on myself. I just play them. And also, you don't need to actually buy any instrument. You have your voice, which is the most accessible, the most portable thing you have. And your voice is your ultimate healing tool. There are a lot of techniques that you can learn, like as you mentioned, even something like our mantra chanting can be very beneficial in your own healing.
That's lovely. And say if someone were to pursue the endeavor of becoming a sound therapist, does one need to be, qualified in having a music degree? Is that necessary?
So, yeah, this question comes to me quite often. Um, what I feel is, to heal yourself with
Mhm.
sound, you really don't need any musical background. You don't need to have knowledge of ragas or anything as such. There are some techniques that you learn, very simple techniques that you learn to play the bowls, play any kind of instrument. And as I said, even the voice, even for that, you don't really need to be a singer. You don't need to have a good voice, or feel that you have a good voice. But there are certain things, if you plan to do, like if you plan on becoming a music therapist, then of
Mhm.
course you would need to know some kind of instrument, such as a keyboard, piano, or a guitar, or any other simple instrument, like even a ukulele or a drum. But if you're looking to just heal yourself, then you need absolutely no musical background. You can just work with very simple basic things that I think we all innately have within us. I personally feel that there is nobody in this world who is not completely non-musical. So I think, there are certain things that we can access, even people with absolutely zero musical background, there are still things that they have inside of them that they don't know that they can access.
True.
So yeah, to answer your question, I don't think you need any musical background. But if you're like me, and like I particularly work with crystal bowls that come tuned to certain notes, certain frequencies,
Right.
and if that's something you want to work with, if you want to work with ragas, raga therapy, then of course you would need to have knowledge of ragas and a little bit of all of that. But otherwise, you don't need any musical
That's
knowledge.
lovely. Since you mentioned, some of these bowls are, attuned to resonate at a particular frequency, can you share your thoughts on that? Also, how does it work in healing oneself emotionally? Like, say, someone's going through something in their lives, right? So, how does sound therapy kind of heal them and help them get over such a situation?
So we all know that music or sound has the ability to emote, to or to evoke certain emotions within you.
Right.
Sound can make you sad, it can make you happy, it can
Yes.
make you introspect. It can make you upbeat, like the kind of music that you listen to while working out. So every sound has a psychological effect on you. So I don't particularly deal with certain frequencies. Like I'm sure it works, so there are solfeggio frequencies,
Right.
but personally that's not my practice.
Okay.
What I deal with is just the psychological, the emotional effect of sound. So I work with mostly psychoacoustics. So when
Mm-hmm.
I say that, if you can see these crystal bowls, they
Mm-hmm.
are basically the seven notes, the swars, like the sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa, the C D E
Okay.
F G. When we talk about Western, so what I do is, I create certain patterns out of these. Now,
Right.
if maybe any some of you may be familiar with rags, certain rags have the capacity to evoke certain emotions.
Yes.
Some rags are very very emotive. Some rags are very very, they take you on that divine, that transcendental state. So that is what I work with, and that's just my humble attempt at creating that kind of an atmosphere with the instruments that I use. So
That's beautiful.
yeah.
So, how do you actually go about crafting a session, Aparna? Is it like one size fits all?
No. So, with that being said, even if you were to attend my session, let's say two
Mhm.
consecutive days, and I played the exact same instruments, it's not possible for me to replicate exactly what I did the previous day, even if I have the exact same instruments. And also your perception of the sound could vary a lot
Right.
from day one to day two, because there are so many external factors that affect you, and how you perceive the sounds. So when we are stressed, when we are in a certain state, we perceive sounds differently as opposed to when we are in a different state. So maybe one day, you could be in a kind of a bad mood, and maybe that day you won't like drums so much. And next day you might be in a better mood, and you will suddenly feel that, oh, you love the drums. So more than what I create, it's really your perception of the sound, which could be very different. But even then, to answer your question further, I do personalize the sessions, and I do create different kinds of sessions using different instruments. And also, for example, if I'm working with someone and they want a chakra healing specifically, then I
Right.
work with particular instruments, or do more of vocal toning. I work with the beej mantras or the vowel sounds, as opposed to someone who wants something just for general relaxation, then that session could be a little different. So like that, depending on what the client wants, or what if there is a specific theme for a group session, then I work with those set of instruments, or I just have a different plan in my head. Like I could maybe include a guided meditation, a visualization, or something like that. So that way, yeah, I do have like different kinds of sessions.
Okay, that's good to know. And obviously, one very, very unique thing about you, Aparna, is that you merge the ragas of the East with the music of the West. So I'm really curious to understand how you do that. And can you share a little more about what this is?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I primarily work with the crystal bowls, and I was actually very lucky to find Sarveda, which helped me complete my crystal bowl set. So I work with these notes. The C, D, E, F, G, A, B are your Saregama in Western music. So
Mhm.
what I do is in Western music, there's something known as chords, there's something known as triads, and certain patterns of sound, and I merge those. I play those along with Indian rags. For example, let's take one simple rag. It's a pentatonic scale, meaning there are five unique notes in that rag. For example, let's see, um, Bhopali, for example, or Mohanam in Carnatic, for those of you who may be aware. So the notes that exist parallelly in Western music to Rag Bhopali, maybe the C, the E, and the G. So then I play the triad, and then I also sing a few notes of the Bhopali Rag. So that's how I blend them. Of course, I can't really explain or describe it to you in words. It's for you to experience it and listen to it, and then you'll know what I mean.
I'm really looking forward to experience it. Hope you give us a taste of it today.
Sure.
Okay. And the other thing is, obviously, we are going to get into your sound immersion section pretty soon. But before we get into that, can you talk to us a little bit about all of the musical instruments that are going to be used today and what are some of their benefits? How are each one of them different from the other? And more importantly, how do they affect our mental and emotional well being?
Yeah. So since it's going to be a very short session, I don't have too many instruments out, but I have. So this is the, if you can see it, it's a white quartz crystal bowl,
Okay.
and I have three of these in different sizes. So this is the biggest one I have. It's a 10-inch bowl, and so these have different notes, of course. And then I have this one, which is the most common one. This is a Himalayan bowl. Of course, it's painted in black. It's a bronze bowl. So the sound of this is very different from the sound of the Himalayan bowl is very different from the sound of the crystal bowl, as you will hear today. And then I have these chimes. These are known as Koshi chimes,
Okay.
and something like this. It's a rattle. It's actually a crowd favorite. People just love the sound. It emulates the sound of a waterfall, or for some people it sounds like birds chirping. So for different people it sounds very different. And so each of these instruments actually has a purpose. Like the crystal bowls, are great for cleansing, clearing, and for purification of any kind, and it also works with your higher chakras. And then your Himalayan bowls, the bronze bowls, are great to work with the lower chakras. They have a more earthy bell kind of a sound. And then your chimes are also great for just clearing the aura, so I like to use it at the end of the session to just bring people back. And then we have certain instruments that also emulate the sounds found in nature, for example birds, water, wind. and so on. So it's also nice to have those kind of elements, the four elements of earth, water, fire, and wind, and of course silence for space. So I work with all of these and just create a sort of a relaxing atmosphere for you.
And your voice is also so soothing. So I'm sure everyone is totally in a Zen mode when you host these sessions. Just a little request, Aparna. Do you think you might be able to give us a glimpse of all of the instruments that you have around you?
Okay. I have to adjust my camera a bit, but yeah. So right now I have three of these crystal balls out, and then I have
Uh-huh.
a Tanpura app also going in the background. If you can
Yes.
hear that, yeah.
Yeah.
And and these are of course the mallets that I use to play them,
Okay.
and the chimes and this that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. That was very kind of you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm now going to open it up to the audience so they have enough time to, ask their questions, and then we have enough time as well to experience this sound bath. Does anyone have any questions?
If you're feeling shy, you can also use the chat.
Yeah, I'll read them out. You can just put it on the chat. We'll just give it a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think you have covered most of the things. Whatever our doubt, I think you already covered. So we just wanted to see the experience. How I mean. So this I'm first attending this sound healing session. So thanks Aparna and Priya for this wonderful. At least we will know some little bit about sound healing. Definitely everybody likes music, but so with the instrument we wanted to just have an experience. Thank you.
Okay, I do see a question here, Aparna. It says, what kind of patients do you really select for healing and, curing them of anything that they're going through?
Um, so, I mean, I don't select the patients, they come to me. So, anybody who comes to me with any kind of problem. Um, but if it's, I will say this one thing though, if it's a very serious problem that has been troubling you for a very long time, of course, the first thing you do is go to a doctor. I never dismiss the medical system, or say that it's bad and that you should not have allopathy and all of that. Although I also personally don't believe in taking too much of allopathic medicines for anything. Of course, I believe in the power of holistic uh, treatments. But it's also important to acknowledge that the doctor is there for a reason, and for certain things, you can't really always rely on something like sound healing. So a lot of people have come to me with migraines. They have told me that the sound has helped them cure their migraines. um, Even gut issues has been cured, because after all, we all know about, or we are somewhat familiar with the brain and the gut connection. So
Yes.
when you're feeling calm, when your stress is relieved, when your anxiety is relieved, then your gut is also automatically healed. So along with that, a lot of people also find their skin issues. If they have any skin issues, that also gets healed. um, and then of course there's also cancer care. There's sound healing for cancer care, where a lot of cancer patients have used sound healing as a complementary therapy, not necessarily to cure cancer, but to just help them deal with the pain and the trauma that is associated with a lot of these cancer treatments. So that helps really relieve or mitigate their pain and just helps them feel a little better and helps them to be able to cope their anxieties.
Right.
So, and of course, it's
And
also used for anyone with hypertension, blood pressure, all of those things also. Sound can do wonders for you.
got it. And is there like a number of sessions one is supposed to attend?
Sorry, what? Any type
Would
of?
you recommend a number of sessions for one to
Oh,
attend so they feel the effect on their body?
yeah. So it really depends on the severity of, your illness, or if it's just for general relaxation, then I would recommend a couple of times a month. Um, if it's like a more if it's part of a more holistic treatment plan, then maybe once or twice a week will also do. Some people also like to do it every day. Maybe you can do a half an hour session every day before you sleep. That also helps a lot of people. So it really depends on what you're looking to heal. If it's something emotional, like for example, these days we hear a lot about something as something like womb healing. Now that's
Right.
something you can work on yourself even every day. So you could work with affirmations. You could use sound as a guide for affirmations, and you could do that every day. There are absolutely no negative side effects, even if you take
Okay.
a sound bath or even listen to something online every day.
That's beautiful. And you do offer online sessions for everybody, right? And we are going to be, probably having workshops and sessions with you as well in future. So stay on the lookout for it, everyone. Okay. And there's another question here. Is sound therapy more effective during Purnima?
Yeah, they do say that any kind of meditative practice is enhanced, or your experience could be heightened during a Purnima or an eclipse. So, although of course you can meditate every day and reap the benefits, but I really don't know the science behind this. But what I've heard is that it helps really mm, heighten your experience. So
Right.
it's commonly practiced among a lot of spiritual seekers. For they do this. Recently, we had a Guru Purnima session. So definitely, why not? But of course, you can meditate every day, and it's as equally effective.
Yeah, and today is actually one such day. So lucky us who are
Oh yeah,
on the session with you
yeah, the
today, because
8/8
today is
portal.
8/8, right? August 8th,
Again,
and
I
it's a
wouldn't be
very
able to answer any questions about
that's okay.
this.
I think it's just a lot of the stars aligning in a particular way that kind of makes this a
Hmm.
very powerful day for people to
Yeah,
meditate and do a lot of spiritual practices. So no better day than doing a sound healing session with you,
correct, correct.
Aparna. So
Yeah,
with
and
that,
coming back to the new moon and the full moon, I think traditionally, before we had calendars, the moon was used to kind of guide them. It used to be aligned with the women's cycles, and so they kind of use the moon cycle as a calendar. So it's always nice to meditate on a full moon or a new moon, because it helps you reset yourself. So for
right.
example, it's almost like so a lot of times you can set a new intention for yourself on a full moon or a new moon, and then you can work throughout the month and wait till the next full moon to see if you have been able to manifest that, or so these are like cycles basically. So the new moon and the full moon just helps you basically reset any cycle that you want to, like such as set a new intention, or just start a new habit, start a new practice, or anything like that.
Thank you. Thank you for explaining that. So, with that, I'm going to hand it over to you, Aparna, so you can take us through what you have planned for us today.
right? So everyone can just relax. We'll begin by just closing our eyes, and you don't have to watch what I'm doing. You don't need to look at the camera. You can just close your eyes and listen to my guidance. And very slowly start deepening your breath, inhaling in through the nose and letting it all out through the mouth. With each breath, just taking a mental check on yourself to see how relaxed you are. So imagine as though you're just releasing all your tension, all your worries with each exhalation. Just letting go of any distractions, letting go of any thoughts if possible. And if not, if the thoughts keep coming back to you, that's completely okay. There's absolutely no need to judge yourself or feel agitated if the thoughts come. Let them come. Let whatever experience you feel right now, just let it come and go. Just relaxing, reminding yourself to just relax the mind and the body with each breath. We'll begin with a few vocal practices, very simple vocal practices that is very effective to practice on your own whenever you feel the need. So we are going to be working with 3 different sounds: the ah, oo, and the sound. And the way we do it is we take a deep breath in, just expanding your belly, expanding your chest, and then very slowly exhaling it. Slowly inhaling and exhaling very slowly. And now we begin to use the sound along with the breath. So what we do is we take a deep breath in, and when you exhale with the sound. So I'll just show you once. Take a deep breath in. You'll notice your belly going in as you exhale and make the sound. So the sound will last for as long as your exhalation lasts. Don't worry if this is difficult for you. Maybe right now just try and focus on the sound. If the breath part is difficult for you, just focus on the sound and don't worry about the breath. So we take a deep breath in. do it a couple more times with the ah sound, taking a deep breath in. Next, we'll be making the oo sound the same way we did the ah, with the breath, taking a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you make the oo sound. So let's do it 5 times, each time taking a deep breath in. Lastly, we'll just make an sound, the mouth closed, just feeling the vibration around here. 5 times, each time with a deep breath in. 5 rounds, you can just come back to your normal breathing. Continue to be aware of all the sounds that you hear. And just noticing how it makes you feel. Slowly bring your awareness back to your breath and your physical body. Making some gentle movements with the fingers and the toes. Maybe you can turn your neck from side to side and give your head a gentle movement. And before we close the session today, I'd like you to just stay in a minute or two of complete silence to allow the sounds to integrate. Just keeping your eyes closed and being in this moment of silence for just a moment. And whenever you feel ready, you can very slowly open your eyes.
Thank you, Aparna. It just
Thank you.
made me smile from ear to ear. It was just so relaxing. It was like getting a piece of heaven and coming back. I didn't want to come out. It was very lovely.
Thank you. Thank you, Priya. Thank you, everyone, for those of you who joined. Hope you had a relaxing, short moment. And
Yes. Thank you. And please do subscribe to Sarveda. And if you want to reach out to us, we will be collaborating with Aparna and hosting workshops in the future as well. So please do subscribe to stay tuned in for our upcoming events, and also check out our range of products that are there on the website. We, like Aparna said, we also do have these crystal bowls, etc., at the website that you could check out. And you can also reach out to Aparna at aparnasound.com. So thank you everyone for joining us. Lots of gratitude. Thank you, Aparna.